So chapter 1, each of the chapters starts with a quote. I think they're kind of interesting. This is from Albert Einstein. The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. So this is just, a hypothetical question. What do you think is the most important idea in all of human knowledge? There's lots of ideas out there. Kind of hard to pick one, right? You could probably spend an entire semester debating that. Well, what if we just stick with scientific ideas? The book proposes that perhaps the most important idea is this one. The properties of matter are determined by the properties of molecules and atoms. So we'll learn molecules and atoms are the little building blocks of matter. The properties that they have determine the properties of the entire substance. And so by learning what those properties are, the atoms and molecules are, and how they interact, that can allow us to alter matter on a larger scale. And it gives us a lot of control. Study of this is how we've come up with lots of new types of materials, like Teflon and Kevlar and various plastics. Without knowing about the atoms and molecules and looking at their properties, we probably wouldn't have developed those things. So this all should be reviewed because you've all had a chemistry class before. But atoms, important to understand what an atom is. Atom is a submicroscopic particle, meaning it's too small to see with a microscope, that is really the building block of ordinary matter. So y'all know what Legos are, right? I think of atoms as being a lot like Lego bricks. They come in different sizes. We don't know what color atoms are because we can't see them, but they probably have a color. I don't know. So I think of atoms as being like the Lego bricks, and then matter is built out of those bricks. So if we look at this guy here, this is water. This is one red Lego and two white Legos, right? And that makes a water molecule. And they're stuck together, kind of like Legos stick together. And this is called a molecule. A molecule is some atoms stuck together in a particular arrangement, and it's always 2 hydrogens to 1 oxygen, and that's what water is. So molecule is a group of atoms stuck together. The exact properties of that individual particle determine the properties of the water. So here's our water molecule, and this is a hydrogen peroxide molecule. And they're really similar. The only difference is this one has 2 oxygen atoms, and this one only has 1. But that small difference causes a huge difference in the properties of the substance. So, drinking a glass of water is really good for you. If you don't have water, you're going to die, right? Of course, if you get too much water, you're going to die too. But hydrogen peroxide is not good to drink, right? And the stuff you get at the pharmacy or the drugstore, that's only 3% hydrogen peroxide. You can use that to cleanse a wound or something, but if you drink that, it's not good. But if you drank straight hydrogen peroxide, it would kill you, right? So this small difference here changes the properties of the whole substance. So that's one of the reasons that we're looking at all these atoms. So we want to understand the things around us. We need to look down deep inside at the atoms and molecules. And chemistry is the science that does that. We try to understand the behavior of matter by studying the atoms and molecules that it's composed of. Here's just another example. This is graphite, like the graphite in your pencil. And this is a diamond. And these are very different substances. This one's soft and black and cheap. And, you drag it along the paper, it leaves a trail. Diamonds are, clear and shiny and very, very hard, very expensive, and you can't use them as pencils, right? They are made up of the same thing, just atoms of carbon. They are both just carbon. The difference is how the carbon atoms are connected to each other. So here the atoms are the same, but how they're connected is different, huge differences in the properties. So those are some of the sorts of things we're going to look at.